one teaspoon. And
like a BB moment, which is like a beautiful black moment. Did we get any of those in this episode?
Black.
We have a chaotic bi moment of the
Chaotic bi moment. And you're watching Black Bi Reality.
Black Bi Baddies.
And those who love us.
Hello, I'm Nicole Weaver, and this is Black Bi Reality, a place for Black Bi Baddies and those who love us. Today I'm unfortunately talking about a Big Brother 25 racism scandal in week 1. If you don't already know, Luke was spotted talking to Hisam and Corey in the have-not room with Jared, and he said, "We were in the cheese room, dude." Luke then looked at Jared and smiled. Hisam and Corey looked horrified. Jared said, yo, you're off the fucking ledge," knowing what he was about to say. And Luke said, "Sorry," while smiling. But we learned later he was not sorry at all. He was with Jared when he said it was a slip of the tongue, which alludes to that's probably a normal thing for him to say. This isn't the first time the show has had to deal with someone possibly using slurs. Fans accused Memphis Garrett of saying it in Big Brother 20, but Big Brother reviewed the footage and claimed it was not said. However, in a statement, the show explained how such situation would be dealt with. Hate speech will not be tolerated, and those who violate this policy will be removed from Big Brother house. And fans called for this action to be taken with Luke. Sharon Thorpe reported that Luke has been ejected from the house, and the episode on Thursday, August 10th will address it. But has the show learned from its past on how to handle such situations? We can look at just last year with Big Brother 24. Kyle Capener made waves because he came up with the wrong theory that all of the minorities in the house were working together, and he wanted to make an all-white alliance to counteract this. He told his theory to Michael Bruner and Brittany Hobbs, who knew he was incorrect because they were working with Taylor Hale. But they kept this information and then weaponized it when it best suited them. When Brittany was on the block, they decided to tell the whole house about Kyle's theory based on race to take his alliance down. Michael used the veto on Brittany and put Kyle on the block next to Taylor. Then he was evicted. Now, what's similar about these two situations is that the feeds went down when the house became aware of how assumptions based on race were in the game. The feeds were down at 2:38 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on August 9th, before the announcement of Luke's ejection. He was missing from the feeds quite some time before that. Taking the feeds down means we don't get transparency about the discussions of racist dynamics in the game, but it does get edited into whatever package the show wants for the episodes. So last year, we saw Kyle talk to Brittany about them spreading the information of his theory to the house in the episodes. At first, he denied ever saying it. He finally said if he did say it, that wasn't his intention. But the episode did a flashback to Kyle, alluding there is a fine line because of last season, which had the cookout. We saw some of what happened when the feeds were down. Kyle told Terrence and Monty about his suspicions and apologized. We then saw a house meeting of them talking about the situation. Kyle finally admitted to having an unconscious biases, then expressed his frustration with Michael and Brittany for not having a conversation with him about this first. However, we did see Brittany push back on his theory at the time, and Kyle falsely claimed they were on board with the plan. Now, Terrence questioned Brittany and Michael about their timing of revealing this. Monty agreed with him that it seemed very suspicious. Brittany claimed this wasn't a smart game move, but it was. It got their main target out of the house. And also, the veto was used on her. The conversation ended with Taylor telling Kyle she loved him and trust that he'd grow from this. She expressed wanting the consequence being him evicted from the house. So the episode later showed Michael putting the veto on Brittany and Turner replacing her with Kyle. Now, Taylor later expressed how ridiculous it was that she, a Black woman, had to sit on the block next to a white man who had a racist plan in her final speech to win. She was also shocked and disappointed with how the situation was handled with a live feed blackout and how it was edited for the show in Taran Armstrong's deep dive. You can catch that 4 hours and 40 minutes in. Taylor confirmed Kyle actually denied his actions to Monty and Terrence until they told him they couldn't have the conversation until he owned his actions. She confirmed Kyle admitted openly his thoughts were based on race. This didn't make the episode, and Tyler said, "That's infuriating." I tried to understand what Kyle understood or didn't understand from the situation after his eviction. Taylor took the time to explain how his actions affected Black people. So in my exit interview for Showbiz Cheat Sheet, you asked Taylor why she wasn't willing to put Jasmine on the block, and she explained her reason to you. Since some people will more likely listen to you, can you explain why Taylor not putting Jasmine on the block is different from your alliance plan? His answer was, "I can't speak to Taylor's personal reasons on why she didn't want to put Jasmine on the block. All I know is I respect her decision, and in the leftover alliance, we all respected her decision on who wanted to take what shot, and totally respected Taylor's decision to do so." Basically, Kyle turned down the opportunity to be an ally and share what he'd learned to white people who'd rather learn from him, and falsely claimed he respected her decision when he really used that to bolster his theory about the minorities working together. So, what have we learned from last year? Big Brother will shut down live feeds when the actual racism is being discussed. They won't have the white players explicitly admit to their racism, but they will leave them wiggle room on maybe it was just a mistake and show everyone giving them love. They will try to continue the game as normal as possible. I get the urge to try to avoid any further scandal by giving less transparency, but the recent handling of this type of situation leans more to white culture's desire to not talk about such matters and move on. This is unsurprisingly leaving Black people affected by the racist actions unheard and dissatisfied. Black house guests get the flack of being too harsh on the perpetrator because they never see the perpetrators take full responsibility or even show the white perpetrator full wrongdoing of denying the actions after being caught. The perpetrator gets to hopefully leave quietly, with answers still putting the responsibility on Black house guests to explain their actions, having to deal with a racist system instead of being an ally and sharing what they learned. Hopefully something changes about the handling of these type of racism scandals, because there will be more. We live in a racist world, and any social experiment will reflect that. But Big Brother could show the reality of how people talk and handle such situations to help everyone learn and grow. It might come at the expense of house guests who caused the scandal to begin with. But isn't that the natural consequences of such actions? That's the question I'm going to leave you with. The show has come a long way when it comes to handling racism. House guests in the past weren't ejected for their actions and comments, and it's nice to see that is changing. But there's always room for improvement. CBS made an awesome pledge of having 50% people of color in the cast for reality shows. Inclusion is one thing, but truly having a structure that is supportive of people of color first in the face of racism is another. We have to wait to see if there will be eviction this week on Thursday, and it's up in the air if we'll see any after effects on the live feeds when they return. So Please like this video if you liked it, comment your thoughts, and subscribe for future content. I will be doing exit interviews this season, so stay tuned for that. And maybe there will be more commentary. Hopefully, none that has to be like this, but I appreciate you listening and have a thoughtful day.